Oh, he's just gone now.
Classic.
He's just gone because I just thumbed up every single message.
He went to get his batting gloves and his smokes. He had to go get his batting gloves and smokes, man.
Oh, shit.
You're goddamn right.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, sports fans. Welcome back to the Southpaw show here on Ball 9. This is episode 6. I'm your host, Chris Vitale, and we have a full house once again. The gang's all here. Wayne Franklin's right here. Rocco Constantino's right there. Bill Pulsipher's right here, coming down off of Pluto. We got Will Oman right next to Bill. And last but not least, we've got Glendon Rush. Gentlemen, welcome back. So right now we are about 2 hours ahead of first pitch from Game 3 of the 2023 World Series. First game at home for Arizona. We've got Max Scherzer versus the kid, Brandon Pfaadt. All right, Glendon, I'm going to start with you. What we've seen so far, games 1 and 2 of this World Series. What are your thoughts, takeaways so far?
Both been good games. Game 1, obviously, really exciting. I think tonight's matchup will be fun. See if Scherzer kind of bounces back into his form, and Pfaadt's been unbelievable. Cool story. I mean, he's a local kid for, I live in Louisville now, so he went to high school here, went to Bellarmine, and is throwing the ball great. And kind of a interesting tidbit with him too is he didn't throw the ball that well his first, 5, 6, 7 starts in the big leagues this year. He kind of struggled and got hit around a little bit, but he's made some great adjustments, came back and is just throwing the ball really, really well. He's fun to watch.
Yeah. Will, I mean, you're down in Arizona. What's the talk down there? It's the Haps.
Well, I mean, so like Glendon said, when he first came up, obviously there's that kind of initiation period, and he was going off of allegedly, he was going off the scouting reports and pitching plan that was kind of being handed to him. But he was struggling with the long ball because if you look at his early numbers, he was really susceptible to the homer. And then all of a sudden, to his credit, he realized, okay, I'm doing something that doesn't feel right. I'm renting somebody else's scouting report. So I'm doing what got me here. And he flipped the script completely. And so what we've seen the last couple of games, I think, is him just going on autopilot with what he knows. So it should be a really, really intriguing matchup, especially with Scherzer, trying to regain. We all know he's a bulldog, but he's playing a couple of notches down. He's not his true dominant self. So that could lead to pretty even matchup.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Pfaadt's been great. I mean, I like Glendon said, I like how cool he's been. He just doesn't seem to really give a damn about anything. I think he had a quote saying, I'll eat anything, I'll do whatever before the game, nothing's changing. I'm good. And that's it's an interesting thing to hear from a kid like that in this situation, especially. Bill, what are you thinking about this matchup and, where we're at here?
Well, obviously it's going to be a very important game, Game 3, kind of a swing game a little bit. Both teams playing great. Really enjoying everything that's happening here so far. The matchup tonight, obviously, love to see Max come out and do his own his old self. I think there was a few outings under his belt now. Hopefully he's built up some stamina, built up some strength, and I'd like to see him pitch well. Faf, that's a hard name to say. These guys, they're calm, cool, collected when they come up to the big leagues nowadays now, because I think because of, even though as much as we bag on travel ball and everything that it is, that these guys are playing in big time tournaments at very young ages and competing against the best in their region, as opposed to when we were kids coming up, you played against the best in your area, and sometimes you got far away and played maybe in a state tournament or something like that. So to see a young guy be calm, cool, and collected in this day and age coming up right away is not a surprise. And no predictions at all, because anything can happen at this point in time, as we've seen throughout the whole playoffs. But definitely pumped up to get to watch another World Series game tonight.
Absolutely. Wayne, same thing to you, especially about Scherzer. I had just seen him on an interview. I think the interview itself was from Sunday, but I just saw it a few minutes ago. And he knows he needs to get better. He thinks, according to him, that little shoulder hiccup he had is done with. I think he's ready to go. So he says. What do you see tonight? What do you want to see tonight out of this matchup?
I just want to see good baseball still. I think it's been great baseball so far. I think you've seen good situational hitting, good defense. You've seen some really good starting pitching. I noticed that the odds makers have the Diamondbacks favored, and I think that speaks volumes to a lot of things. You never think you'd see Max Scherzer not favored in a World Series game, and fought, but he's been so great lately. And, building off of what Glendon said, he doesn't care. Like, there's some good in that because he really believes in his stuff, it looks like. And I think that guy's got the world by the tail right now. I think that kid can be really, really good for a while. But, yeah, I just hope to see good baseball keep going. And I do think Scherzer is over that hump. His stuff was good last time, but he just needed to get his confidence back.
As long as his sweeper's working.
Exactly. No cement mixers. Get that sweeper. Swiffer. It's a Swiffer.
Brought to you by Swiffer. Rocco, I'll go to you too, which especially with Scherzer and Fott. We've seen Scherzer in this situation before. Do you think he can bounce back? Do you think he's, are we seeing, is he coming to the end of the road? What do you think we got here?
From my perspective, it's coming to the end of the road, I think. I was hoping that he would have done better his last start. Out of the gate, he looked pretty good, I thought, and then he lost it pretty quick here or there. So I'll be interested, just like anybody else, watching it today and see if he can maintain. When we were saying this, to the last game, if he can give that 4 or 5 good innings, that's a huge boost. I don't see him going out there and, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, something like that. I don't see him doing that. So it's an interesting matchup for sure, because like a couple guys said already, Fott, he really struggled early on this year. What he's doing now is something else. He looks like he could develop, like Wayne said, into that big, classic, hard-throwing righty. And looks like he can develop into Scherzer. And, and Scherzer's, I think, at the end of the line. So we'll see. And it's, if things go get 7 games, this is scheduled to be the pitcher matchup game 7 too. So that's something to keep in mind looking down the line.
Yeah, I agree. And another thing we've seen in this series so far, just in the 2 games, and I've seen it, I've seen some people, having a conniption about it. The Diamondbacks bunting, especially in game 1, the Diamondbacks bunting to get guys to second and third with no outs, and people are still having a fit that, I don't know how you can give away an out in a situation like this, but that's the way they played all year. That's kind of how they got here. They're going to beat you with speed. They're going to beat you doing little things like that. And I was going to go to you anyway, but what do you think about that?
Well, fun fact, I'll go back to Fott versus Scherzer. Fott's playing with house money.
Yeah.
So as are the Diamondbacks. You have nothing to lose. They have far exceeded expectations, so the governor's completely off. They can go all gas, no brakes, hair on fire, and that's how they play. So great for them. Saw a tweet from C.J. Nitkowski, ex-Ranger, now broadcaster.
No,
so
lefty.
far in regulation, sorry, what?
Lefty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So far in regulation and postseason, the Diamondbacks are 20-1 in games in which they had an inning that included a sack bunt and a run scored.
Awesome.
Really?
Post that.
Right.
Post that.
Absolutely. I replied to him, and it's just like, it's this hit the propeller. It's almost like 1 run an inning is important.
You get a replay?
Like if you score a run in an inning, man, that's 9 over the course. And it's like, get it out your freaking head that you have to wait around for 3. If you score 9, if you average 9 a game, you're winning.
Picket fence will win a game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like when you bring the infield in
Hickory.
and cut the run, man, you cut off angles that balls can skip through on the infield. That's why everybody brings the infield in. So why are we arguing about bunting? Get the hell off it and score. I love it.
I do too.
Yeah.
Especially if the
I'm
pitchers
with
aren't walking people. If the pitchers aren't walking
Yeah.
people, bunting works really well.
Yeah, you have to get
I mean,
on.
just start the snowball fight, man.
Yes, that's right.
Get people moving. You know, with the rules the way they are. You know, Corbin Carroll. I saw a graphic during one of them. He's the first rookie with 25 plus and 50 plus bags, 25 plus home runs and 50 bags. Yeah, sure, those numbers are inflated on the steals, but man, send them.
Yeah.
Send them, and every pitcher, and it drives me bananas, especially when I'm calling fall league games. I'm watching guys who are 1-6, 1-7 to the plate, just handing second base to the runner. Look, you got a high leg kick because you want to make this pitch. Get the hell out of here. Dude, I'm standing on second. Oh, by the way, I'm standing on third. Oh, I'm Tommy Pham. I'm going to jerk around, and, you know, Mike Maddox may call me a dumb F, but whatever, dude. I'm going to take that chance and see if I can get 90 feet.
Oh, man. No, I totally agree with you, but
Sorry,
Yeah,
here ended the rant.
5 sack bunts, right? First 2 games for the.
Yeah, absolutely. They did 3 in game 2, and here's the other one. And this gets lost in the shuffle. How about aside from a singular pitch to Corey Seager, the Diamondbacks have outplayed the Rangers
100%.
in every category.
Absolutely. I mean, I was actually just going to say that. I mean, it's the bottom of the 9th inning. The Diamondbacks are basically they're set to win the game. Seawald, you know, gave up a bomb. I know.
I mean, and
But,
it happens. Okay,
And
so
you could say, well, you know, maybe if you hadn't given up an out on that sack bunt, that you're going to win. I mean, there was, you know, the odds. I'm sure the odds were at that point in the game. You know, that was Arizona's game to, you know, Arizona's game to win. But you know, Bill, I saw you smack your head talking about that pitch from Seawald. What do you got?
Well, I just think that he's notorious first pitch hitter, and he's been in the playoffs for so many years in the World Series. He's been there and done that. And obviously, he wasn't trying to throw the ball over the middle. You're trying to make a pitch. But I feel like I've got to be going with my off-speed stuff, my breaking ball stuff in the dirt there to see if he's going to be excited. Sure. And swing at a bad pitch and put himself in a bad position to get himself out or get me ahead in the count. So we've all done it, thrown the wrong pitch at the wrong time. But man, that's a tough time to do that. And knowing he's the guy that he's known. Throw it over the plate and he's freaking whacking at that first pitch. And he didn't miss it. He hit the dog shit out of it, which was fun to see.
Yes, he did.
And that was a hell of a ball game. And I'm hoping for more of a game 1 than a game 2 tonight. And I'm kind of thinking that might be what we get.
Excellent. Glendon.
I was going to add on to Bill, too, is that, you know, the old golden rule that we all lived by was you make the guys beat you the other way late in games. You don't, right? You don't get beat messing around up, messing around in. You know, if a guy, obviously, you know, Adalis hit a home run on a pitch where he was going this way and hit it that way.
Tip your cap, bro.
Yeah, that's it. So, but I was thinking about that a lot, too. I'm like, I just remember constantly, you know, hearing setup guys and closers talk about, I'm not getting beat.
He was trying to go up and in, right?
Yeah, I'm not getting beat pull side, you know, late in the game when the game's on the line, especially in a World Series game.
Yeah, I mean, and first pitch going up and in. That was like when the Braves tried to go up and in on Cody Bellinger in the 2020 series or the 2020 NLCS, and I was like, man, you're protecting a lead, and I get there's a hole there, and that's the plan to pitch him there, but maybe finish him, but don't start him there. That ain't the ticket. It was like, because you have a margin for error that's so small.
Man, he's looking to swing. You know, if you do miss, man.
Yeah.
And
it just goes to show you, as we all of us pitchers know, it's not the pitch selection that gets you in trouble. It's pitch execution, and that's where he got
100%.
He got busted right there.
And Seawald isn't exactly known for, you know, throwing fire. I mean, he's not. He's a little bit lower on the velo scale. So, you know, I mean, yeah, if he's missing that spot to a guy like Seager, that's it's a recipe for disaster for sure. So, I mean, what do you think we see tonight? Do you think? I mean, do we get more of a game 1 than a game 2? I mean, I'm going to go for predictions. You know, why not? What do you guys see happening tonight? Rocco, surprise.
I'm down on Scherzer. I just am. I hate to say it because he's been a favorite of mine, but like you said, the Diamondbacks been outplaying the Rangers for the most part. At some point, I think the Rangers bats cool down, but the way the Diamondbacks play the game, that is harder to go into a slump. Stealing, bunting, generating runs. So if we'll go prediction, I'll go a 6-4 Diamondbacks here, I guess.
All right. You know what? I'll go right beneath Glendon. I don't know if you already got your wagers in, but
I'd love to see it.
Let's just say if you were a betting man, just
if I were a betting man,
Right.
I'd love to see a 2-1 or a 3-2 with no homers tonight. Just a straight up pitchers duel, moves being made out of the bullpen, runners in scoring position, big pitches, and tight ball game. Would be fun to watch.
What do you happen to know the over under? Because if you were a betting man, you might know this.
They've been floating around 8.5, 9 a lot. I'm guessing
Really?
it's like one of those. Yeah,
It's good knowledge.
So the media is trying to fake like Arizona is now not a home run park; it's a pitcher's park because of the humidor. I don't buy it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Wayne, how about you here?
Well, I look for if I were the Diamondbacks, I would do a little more game 2. I would try to get that early lead against Scherzer and just try to push some runs around, and I would try to get to that bullpen, get fought through his 4 or 5, whatever they're going to give him, and then get to that good bullpen they have. That's their strength.
Who's that? The Rangers?
Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay.
I look for them to just go for runs early, so that you might see them trying to move some runners with hit and runs or stolen bases or bunt. And that the bunt is an old concept, but it's new to a lot of these players.
Yeah,
and it will catch them off guard. They're not used to defending it. I mean,
Next thing you know,
it looks like old hat to us. To us, it looks like old hat, but to these guys, it's a new ballgame.
Yeah. Well, and they have. I mean, what was it? Perdomo, didn't he lead the league in sack bunts or something this year? There was something like that.
Yeah,
I like that guy.
So yeah, me too.
I like that
player.
guy.
So Bill, how about you? I believe you said you didn't have a prediction. If you had to. Down goes Rocco. Hold on
again.
Again, right.
Yeah, Rocco, you got an earthquake going on over there?
I feel baseball is very
Jersey.
Baseball is very, very hard to predict baseball because anything can freaking happen. We all know that. I think I'm seeing more like 6-5 range. I'm like Rocco, even though I hate to say it, I'm a little down on Scherzer. I'm kind of hoping, that he can have one last little, explosion of Max Scherzer because it's obviously great to see him. And I think that the young guy is going to be a little too excited, maybe throw a few balls over the middle of the plate that some of these Rangers hitters might not miss. I think it's going to end up being a battle of the bullpens again. And I'm looking for the over at 11, Glendon. 6-5. Who wins? I'm not going to say. I don't know.
All right. Will, same question.
I think the Diamondbacks just will probably come out 2-3 ahead. I think they're just going to keep pressing the same button, which is win the inning, and that looks like how they're playing. Just a relentless, persistent approach to keep turning the lineup over, keep getting the next guy out. It's a cliched look at things, but that's what I see from them is that they are actually, and I think Torey Lovullo said it very, very well after they beat the Brewers. He's like, we're a dangerous team. We're a connected team. He's like, people don't know what they're about to see. And he has gotten those kids in a place where they have full buy-in. It's not about the stars. It's about the team. I mean, even so far as, Tommy Pham, who prior to this year didn't have a particularly team guy reputation, and it's reported because it's a story, feel good, whatever, but he's got 4 knocks and he wants the other kid to get a World Series AB.
Yeah.
If that actually happened, good on him.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then they're actually going for each other. Yeah. And that's the right vibe.
I actually think he was scared to go 4 for 5.
protecting his average.
I'm just kidding. I actually like the story too. I thought it was cool. If true, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, he's really impressed me this postseason. I mean, aside from the
he's had a tremendous season.
Maddox, he really has. But I mean, aside from
The only
Maddox,
guy here who doesn't
calling
think
him a
that
dumb fuck,
he's been really good is Wayne.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's had a breakthrough. He's had a breakthrough. If only he knew that every time I watched him, he never hit until recently. These last couple games, it's crazy.
I got to see him the first half of the season, and he was by far the best player on the Mets. By far. I saw him on a nightly basis. I know it ended bad here, especially after he left. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of happy that I heard some of the things that he said, because maybe that'll give a kick in the ass to some of the people in that clubhouse and that organization with the Mets. Because I went to some, like I said, going to the Mets games and seeing them not being out there warming up, and I find out they don't take batting practice, and then to hear Tommy Pham say that there's some of the most lazy position players they've seen. So I love it. I'm happy for the guy. I hope, and you know what, maybe he's grown some too, and some of that the past stuff about not being a team player and all that, and maybe it's taken him some time to grow a little bit. Maybe he's doing some growing, and this is a good thing for everybody involved.
Yep. Everybody needs a wake up call once in a while.
Yeah, I love it. I'm happy for the guy. I love it.
absolutely. I mean, I still wouldn't play fantasy football with the guy, but that's neither here nor there.
What happened there? I don't know. What are you talking about?
You really don't know? He bitch slapped. Okay, all right. Edit that.
In the reminders on my phone, have a couple players' names that my phone reminded me to talk about. Now, Wayne, I believe you had something story about Jeff Francoeur that you wanted to let us know about, and in the spirit of giving and sharing, please let us know.
Well, I'm sure all you guys know Bob Wickman, right?
Wiki.
God, I love that guy. By the way, I played with him in Atlanta in 06.
Or was it?
Yeah.
Great sinker.
Yeah. What
Really turn it over.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought getting your finger cut off would be a blessing in disguise?
Right.
But I mean, Francoeur, we were on a bus from one trip, and Frenchie was just like, I guess he was really talkative all the time, but I don't know if he had a couple of cocktails in him already or what, but he just kept talking. Wickman was sitting there. He looks at me. He goes, "Who is that talking the whole time?" I was like, "That's Frenchie, man." He goes, "Hey, Frenchie," and he just starts yelling his name. If you know Bob, you just know him start yelling. He goes, "You talking a lot, man." He said, "How many years you got in the big leagues?" And he holds his hand up. He said, "You got this many." You got about 1.5. You got about one. He goes, "You got 1.5." He said, "You're just talking way too much." Oh my God, it was so funny, man. Just makes fun of himself like that. You got 1.5.
Oh my God! Now, oh God, I believe Will.
What year were you in Atlanta?
06.
06. It's funny, when I got there in 08, the Wickman stories were still around, and most of them had to do with him talking about time served, and everybody in the organization was like, "Dude, if there's an organization where they don't care about your time, it is this one. Like, you don't hold that over anybody. It is these 25 guys are here to help."
Yep. And with Wickman, man, if you were a scab from the early 90s, from 94, God forbid, stay out of his way.
Really?
If you were a guy. Yeah, he did not like that idea.
I played with Wiki in Milwaukee, and I believe he's actually from Wisconsin. And
he is. Yes.
There's nobody more Wisconsin than Bob Wickman. He's just
that's perfect. Yes, you're exactly right.
So Wisconsin, great guy. He loved his Miller Lights too. He loved his Miller Lights. He was a good dude. Good, funny guy. Always the back of the bus. Always the back of the plane too.
That's right.
Always.
And every first night of every road trip, he invited everybody in the bullpen up to his hotel suite, order whatever. He's going to order everything, and you guys are going to hang out for that night.
Yeah, good dude, good teammate.
Nice.
On the opposite end of the spectrum from Bob Wickman, you've got Antonio Alfonseca.
El Pulpo.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Is that why they called him the octopus?
Yeah, they called him Pulpo because he had 6.
Yeah,
That's what. That's
Yeah.
I didn't.
Because he had a little extra pinky, so he was like an octopus.
Did you ever look down at his shoes and you see that little bump sticking out on the side of his shoe?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I know that's that 6 toe sticking out right there on his shoes. You're like, that's
Rocco
wicked.
couldn't handle us anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We offended him somewhere. Oh boy.
He had another
The
one
high
of those
6 and the high
earthquakes.
4.5.
Oh, God.
I honestly think there were a couple of times going through the line when Alfonseca was with the Cubs, guys would go up there, high five line and just they'd go up like that.
dude.
Hey, think about that the two dudes with absolutely nasty sinkers. One dude's missing a partial digit and the other dude has an extra digit.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
you can't explain baseball. It just
Crazy,
is.
right?
It just is.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And is Frenchie calling the game tonight, or,
Boy, I hope
or is they
not.
going to Smoltz? I know Frenchie was doing one of the LCS games.
Who is doing the game tonight?
It's got to be Smoltzy and the new guy.
I got one for you to look up, Rocco. Sometime in the 02 or 03 Brewers years, I had a pinch hit appearance against Alfonseca late in the extra inning game. I went up there to bunt and fouled 3 off in a row. No chance. Just nasty sinkers down and away.
Can't bunt those.
No, nubbed them to the third base coach's box, all of them, and strike out back to the dugout.
Will, I think you, aside from
Well,
the
we
high
just-
6 that you were talking about, I think you had something about Miguel Tejada in case you wanted to.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you get around long enough and you play with these guys who are just beyond the game. They're playing their own. They're playing their own game in another world. Like I got to play with Miguel in Baltimore, so he's on the back end of his career. And those goofy press releases they do for all the teams, and they ask you what your favorite food is and all this stuff, or what you'd be doing if you weren't playing baseball. And I'd always try to wreck the interview and be like, yeah, I'd be a used vacuum cleaner salesman or whatever. Just like, you're wasting my time, I'll waste yours. What's your favorite food? Reheated taquitos. So I read Miguel Tejada's thing, and it says he wants to be president of the world, which is a job I didn't know existed. So that was my first clue that I was dealing with somebody special. And then I start watching, just the little things he does. I mean, I was trained really well by Glendon and Ryan Dempster to look for little idiosyncratic behavior that would just make me happy on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
So I'm just watching. I'm like I'm in the lurch, just waiting for fun stuff to happen. And then I noticed, every so often Tejada would just kind of look around and go, I'm like, what is that? Or he'd look at somebody else and I'm like, what are you doing? And then finally one day I just came, and it was actually after this. So he goes out, he hits a bomb, and when he runs the bases and he gets to home plate and he goes, I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, he's the spotlight. The spotlight on me, man.
He had his own spotlight.
He gave himself the spotlight, which was tremendous in its own right. But then I started seeing him. He was doing it to other people in real time. So like Cesar Torres makes a nice play right next to him at short, and he's like, just no look.
He was a producer.
Absolutely, he was watching a guy slid into third. Third out had already been made. Guy was showing extra effort, and he just goes, just below him, just making unnecessary plays. But the best one I ever saw, he hits a ball in the gap at Camden Yards, and he is chucking around first base. He's going, dude lays out in right center field and makes this ridiculous catch. He never breaks stride. He's just, it gives it to him and takes it back to the dugout.
That's good.
I love that.
I like that.
It is great. The president of the world spotlight.
And I wonder how many people actually ever knew besides you exactly what was going on, because that's pretty interesting.
I started cluing in our whole team on it. I was like, dude, you got to watch this. Watch this. Wait, he's going to give that guy the spotlight.
And he was totally cool about telling you what it was and wasn't offended, just went right along with
No,
it.
he was like,
That's awesome.
Spotlight on me, man.
That's awesome.
It's really funny.
He's like, they may not write it in the paper, but I know.
Yeah, bam. I love it.
So, in not so lighthearted news, we heard earlier, just before we started recording, Frank Howard passed away at 87. And I know some of you guys had interactions with him. Bill, I know you said he was one of the coaches when he came up. So just want to talk a little bit about him and some good Frank Howard stories. Bill, I'll start with you.
Hondo is a legend in baseball. Obviously, one of you guys just said it here in our little break there that he was like Aaron Judge before Aaron Judge, just the size wise and that. But obviously, I was much too young to have seen him as a player, and everything I heard was through the grapevine about all of his greatness and home run prowess that he had. Obviously, one of the only men to hit the ball completely out of Dodger Stadium over the left field bleachers and over the stadium, which if you've ever been there, you look and you're like, wow, I can't believe a ball could even be hit that way, that far. But he was the first base coach with the Mets when I first came up to the major leagues, and was quite the character, very, very professional, but subtly comedian. He used to always come up to me in the dugout and ask me, "Pulse, man, how am I looking on those lines?" Which was his way, because he would literally run right along, and he would never cross the dirt around home plate, especially from the third base side. He would run and around the back of the circle and run all the way down the line and then get out there. And renowned for his fungo too. I used to catch up for him in spring training hitting fungos, and he would be the whole time just describing what he was going to do. All right, no, I'm going to take him 3 steps this way on this one. Now he's going to go 3 steps to his right on this one, and would just completely do commentary the whole time. Legendary guy. Glad to hear that he got to live a great long life of 87 years old, but baseball legend. And I'm honored to say that I got to spend some time with Hondo.
Excellent. Have any of you other guys? Did you guys ever get to meet him or come across him in any way?
I never got to meet him, but I just remember the first time with the Cubs that we went into RFK Stadium, and they had that one colored seat up in the upper tank, and they're like, "That's the seat Frank Howard hit," and I was like, "Yeah, that's not possible." I was like, I couldn't hit that with the driver.
Can I say one more thing about him that you just reminded me, because we're talking about home runs? People would always say to him, "You know what? You should be in the Hall of Fame. You should be in the Hall of Fame." When he would meet fans and that, he would always tell them, "I was more like a 4th outfielder guy. I never got to 500 home runs." But I thought it was funny that when it comes to the Hall of Fame outfielders, he saw himself as a 4th outfielder. So, not quite the starting guy, the Hall of Fame guy, but maybe just right below it. And I always thought it was great that he could kind of poke fun at himself just a little bit.
That's awesome.
Humble.
That's fantastic.
Very humble man.
Sorry,
Is everybody just subdued because they're excited about the game? I mean, it's like this whole episode this is like the Valium episode.
Valium episode.
I can tell the stories about him lifting weights in his jock in the sauna, but I mean, I don't know if we do that.
Yeah,
you just did it.
I mean, everybody's got a little Pedro Serrano in them.
You just did the story, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, hey, Glendon, rumor has it, I got this through the grapevine. I I just heard something. But I did ask you about if your doorbell rang, and I allegedly a package has been delivered to you.
Plot thickens.
Oh boy.
And a couple of guys, and I think Vitali and Rocco specifically, wanted to see if you would open said package. So
you got to do it now.
We can edit right here.
Oh, I don't know how you blame me and Rocco.
Hey,
Glendon has gone to Amazon.
Is it from Amazon?
Will, that was amazing that you knew that.
Well, I mean, a little bird told me. Like a little blackbird.
Teacher man.
Teacher.
No, different guy.
I'm scared, man.
Some would say this guy's steady as an oak.
Oh my.
Open that away from the body, dude. What in the world?
What is that?
Dude, that's the greatest gift of all time.
Hey, it's medium.
It's a medium. Yeah, I told him to order a medium. Yeah.
Dude, you guys are unreal. Who sent that?
I don't know.
I don't know if I can wear that. You're incredible.
There we go. That guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Thank you.
Glendon.
I'll wear it with pride.
Every time
Absolutely.
they lose.
Hey, that's weird. They're playing the Seahawks next week, right?
Is that the matchup?
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Oh,
Oh,
look
my.
at you. Okay.
I'm telling
You
you,
could be
he's
Wayne.
a deviant. He's a deviant guy.
Need a
Yeah.
barbecue selfie. Need a new barbecue selfie with Wellmeyer, man.
Did you guys know it was dropped off to the minute? That's incredible.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I
Will,
was
I got to
alerted.
start questioning some things. What's going on over there, bro?
Yeah.
Purse, lay it on
What's
me.
going on there? What's going on over
Well,
there?
so I know some things. I know some people,
Yeah,
and I was alerted. I'm plugged in, man.
I
plugged in.
see that.
That was nicely done. Nicely
Very
done.
impressive.
I know some people in California. I know some people in District 13 in Kentucky.
Very nicely done. I appreciate the gesture, and I will be wearing it with pride.
All
Are
right.
you actually
not
going
on-
to wear it?
Maybe not on
I don't
game
think you're going
day,
to wear it
though.
on Sunday. Okay.
Maybe not on game day.
Are the Seahawks
No,
going to do their? Are the Seahawks going to do their retro roads?
I think they're I think they were planning on doing that once. I thought I saw, but I don't think they're doing it next week.
Okay, can we start a petition to have them wear those uniforms all the time?
They are
Because it
great.
makes those new ones
They're
look horrible.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
they really do.
I could almost smell the urine in the Kingdom yesterday when I was watching that game. I was bringing back good memories.
I was
Smelling
expecting
urine,
Geno
yeah.
Smith to
Gotta love
fumble a billion times like Dave Craig.
You know, these throwback uniforms and outfits and shirts for Glendon. You know, we got Halloween going, so I don't know if like Wayne is subliminally trying to get Glendon to dress as Wayne for Halloween with the Raven stuff. Look at this. I know he's ready. Look at this. But
Big weekend. Pump.
Big weekend.
Unbelievable. You with the props.
we've seen a couple good Halloween costumes so far. My favorite is still the little Ron Washington, but one of you guys sent the McDaniels guy and out kicking his coverage.
Yeah.
That guy.
Was it him or her?
I
He's cute.
He's cute.
but I'm curious, you guys, with Halloween here and whatnot, what was some of your favorite baseball related Halloween costumes that you've ever seen, aside from mine, which is Little Ron Washington. That's an all-time classic. But have you ever seen anything that was just like, holy shit, that's really good? Wayne, since you're the guy here, like trying to talk about uniforms and
Just trying to convert
outfitting,
people.
blending.
Just trying to convert
Yeah.
people. That's all.
just outwardly converting people like it's the freaking Wayne Franklin Crusades.
It is. It really is. I don't know that Ron Washington one. It's one of the better ones I've seen. Maybe the best baseball one.
It's tough.
My
to
personal
top.
favorite. My personal favorite's the kid. I think I sent that photo to you. Kid who dressed like a fart. The kid was dressed as a fart. He looked.
That was really good.
That's baseball related.
It could
It
be.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. We
Greg
found a way.
Maddox, yeah. Put a
Yeah.
Maddox jersey on him.
Yeah.
The
Burt
Kevin
Reynolds.
Bacon effect. A fart is a Kevin Bacon effect. There we go.
Yes. Well, farts are yes. Glendon, I'm gonna go to you with this. I mean, can anything top that little Ron Washington that you've seen
No.
and or anything that you possibly have done? Glendon. Hello.
Oh God.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Will Oman. How's anything? I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I thought the retired Hooters waitress was pretty funny.
That was really
That was a
good.
good one.
That was really good.
True.
I did like the Randy Johnson Dead Bird one.
That was good.
Classic.
That's quality couple work. I can't think of anything offhand. My favorite costumes. I mean, I never was on a team that played deep enough to dress up for Halloween during a season. But my favorite was just when the rookies had to get dressed up on the plane. And that was always a treat.
Yeah.
Or the coaches.
I never saw the coaches have to get dressed up.
We did.
Oh wow! I remember one year specifically. There was one round of outfits that was special. Glendon's going to check on another package. It's a helmet.
The sweater.
It's the pay. Yeah.
It's Ray Rice.
You get a free bowl of soup with the hat that you just got. No, one of our guys, Glendon remembers, got dressed up as the Pope, and that was amazing.
Oh my God, it's funny.
When you guys were rookies, when you guys had to do that?
No. He and I were not rookies. We got to witness one of the rookies get dressed up.
One of
like
the rookies. That's okay. All right. So you know what? Let's kind of switch it over to that. Baseball Halloween, when you guys had the rookies dress up as anything. Yeah, spotlight on you, Mike.
God,
like what are some of the better rookie outfits that you've seen in that scenario? So obviously, Will, you got the Pope.
Now he's got something to say.
Oh, now Glendon's here.
in.
All right.
Now he's in.
Sorry, my dogs were causing a ruckus in here.
We didn't hear a thing. I didn't hear a thing.
Will remember this one. This is one of my favorite things I was ever involved in. Our clubhouse guys in Chicago were huge Bengals fans. I mean, die hard. And for the first time in baseball history, we decided to dress up the clubbies. They were not exactly really happy with it. But our head clubhouse guy, Tom Hellman, was dressed up as a full Cincinnati Bengals uni, pads, helmet, everything out on the tarmac, loading luggage in a full Bengals uni. It was maybe the best thing I've ever seen. That was fun.
Doing the Iggy Shuffle.
It was tremendous.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. I'll try and locate that picture for so we can show.
I've already got it.
With the helmet and everything.
Yeah. Oh, you have it, Will?
Oh yeah.
He's got them all.
Oh my God.
Yes, the archives of Will Omen. Bill, what's one of the when you had the rookies dressed up as
I would say
God knows what was one of your favorite ones?
But as Hooters girls, they all had the Hooters girls outfits on. So little orange shorty shorts and little white half tank tops. That's always a fun. I mean, you might catch a ball hanging out here or there out of the shorts because they were so short. But those were always funny.
As in testes or baseballs? Testes or baseballs?
Testes. Testicles.
Wait, how about
That's
you?
That's funny because when you're dressed up as a Hooters girl, you got chesticles and testicles.
This is true. Well, yeah, the retired Hooters girl, as you spoke of, that she had the testicles hanging out, or the
those look like oranges in a pair of socks.
Yes. Oh, God.
I got to give that credit to Cheech and Chong, but I am going to use it because it is hilarious.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Wayne, how about you to finish this one off?
Unfortunately, I had to dress as a hula dancer, man. That was the coldest flight in history, too, man. I wore a grass skirt and a coconut bra, and I had my sliding shorts on. That was it, man. It was so cold on that plane, man. It was so cold. It was the same night. This is what topped it off is when we went to Chicago. It was Chicago where we had to paint the horse.
Yeah.
You guys know what I mean? Same night, man.
Did you go in the hula? Did you go on the hula skirt to paint the horse?
Yeah, I'd get off the bus. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You were dressed
not letting me in the hotel, dude.
painted.
True story.
You're a badass, bro. You're a badass.
Me and one or two other guys.
I tip my cap for that. Good for you.
Everyone was
like, how do I not get noticed, man?
Oh my God. There it
There it
is.
is. There it is.
Oh, look at that.
That's great.
And so here's the backstory. His name, Otis, his real name is Tom Hellman. But when I showed up there, everyone would say Otis tanked it all the time. Like, Otis tanked it again, right? So of course I make his jersey tanked it. I changed his nameplate. I changed his nameplate above his office in the clubhouse to Otis tanked it. And he got multiple checks from rookies that year made out to Otis tanked it.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Otis was actually an unwitting part of one of my best computer hijinks with Lawrence Hairchild that year.
Yeah. Oh man, poor Otis took some abuse. He's one of the best. He's retiring finally this year. I think he's still over there.
Can't take it anymore. I still think that while this is fantastic, I thought his best dress up was when we made him the Bat Boy for like a week. We were so bad. We were so bad we needed a win streak. And so he became our Bat Boy. And the next thing you know is Murphy's Bleachers and everything has their signs up on their marquee that says, "In Otis we trust," because it was the first time we won 3 games in a row. There was an ESPN little montage on him.
He was incredible.
That's
He was a good sport.
Yeah, Otis is good sport.
Definitely.
He was a good sport.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Otis was amazing.
Otis. That's fantastic. Well, I think we're at the point now where we're going to get everybody's final thoughts. This could be either about the World Series or another Halloween thing, the worst candy you've ever had, or, you know, that you got pissed off that you were handed, or I don't know, whatever you want. It's a final thought. So it's anything. Rocco, going to start with you.
Final thought. I mean, I was planning on doing my final thought about, we had talked about the Hall of Fame in our text thread a little bit. And we mentioned briefly the Veterans Committee, and Bill White is up for the Hall of Fame this year. I think it'd be awesome to see him get in there when you consider his, his contributions as a player, an announcer, National League president, ambassador for the game. There should be more of those kind of people, I think, in the Hall of Fame, guys whose whole careers kind of encompass everything. Just an awesome dude, awesome baseball guy. Would really like to see Bill White in the Hall of Fame. I think that gets announced second or third week in January, along with other guys that were up, Joe West, Jim Leland, Davey Johnson, some other interesting candidates. But Bill White would be a cool one to see.
Absolutely. And I promise you, we will get into that a little more after this World Series is over. We could do, I'm sure, a whole episode and a half on just the guys on the ballot. Bill, let's go to you. Final thought here.
I'm going to say something about the World Series. I'm going to go a little bit back towards Glendon. I'm looking for that. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I'm looking for it. I'd love to see that pitcher's duel tonight and actually see the kind of old guy, young guy thing go tonight and make that be a storyline in the game and see those guys both shove tonight and go late into the game. Got my fingers crossed. Not sure it's going to happen, but that's my final thought. My final hope for tonight is to have another good, close, competitive game with both starting pitchers going deep into the game and exciting old school baseball game.
Cool. All right, Will, how about you? What do you got?
I want to see the exciting old school baseball game, but I think the old school is going to exist on the offensive side of the ball. I say both starters get pulled either in the fifth or before, just by nature of everybody getting a tight sphincter. It just travels down from the suite, and just everybody just puckers. Let's see. So I think I got the Diamondbacks winning this one, and bummer to see Kirk Cousins go down with an Aaron Rodgers injury. We had some fun on who was and who was not editing properly on our text thread. And I'm gonna take the Ravens over the Seahawks next Sunday.
Ooh.
That's bold.
That's bad. That's bad.
Albeit the only reason is because it's in Baltimore.
All right. Well, now I
And
have
and the Seahawks won't be wearing their best uniform.
That's true. That's true.
And big ups to my Broncos for doing the unthinkable, which was actually A, winning a game, and B,
Serious
winning a
props
game
on
against
that
the
one.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
That was very decisive too.
Oh, and Coach 500.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Coach 500, man. He's the
Coach
big dog.
500. Oh, man. So actually, out of all these things, I'm going to have to go to Glendon next because you got a lot here.
It's a lot of
You got
fire
a lot
right there.
going back. You got Ravens over the Seahawks. Then you got a little Coach, Gemstone, which is right in your wheelhouse. What do you got?
Coach Gemstone is now Coach 500. I want to give props to Mr. Longoria. 15 years in between World Series appearances, and
wow,
I'm excited because he was wearing a big unit T-shirt today to the ballpark, and big units throwing the first pitch out.
Oh yeah,
nice.
That's
great. That's
That'll
awesome.
be cool. And then
you have a bird next to him.
oh gosh, what an outfit! Yeah, that was a good costume.
that was a good costume, man. And
was.
once I found out that was a dead bird, that was a good one.
That was a good one. And I'll finish with congrats to Will. The Sierras beat the Swifties. That was a good game.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, Wayne, we move on to you.
First thought on what Bill said about the pitching matchup. As soon as you said that, Bill, it made me think about Smoltz against Jack Morris in the World Series. If it's like that game, awesome. I would love it to be like that game. That would be unbelievable.
We both know it's not going to happen, but that would be awesome to see.
Happening, yeah.
But man,
it would be a hell of a story too.
That's two Hall of Famers.
It would be a hell of a story.
Yeah, it would be great. But to my real thought,
I'm
going to make a prediction. After the Jets' big win yesterday, which was fun to watch, it even delayed me about 5 minutes to turn on the Ravens game. But
did you call that a big win?
Good comeback. How
Every
about
win in the NFL is a big win.
That's right. They're all NFL.
It might have been the worst game ever played.
It was the worst game.
Not to Jets fans. Not to Jets fans. Hey, it's rivalries, man. You throw those stuff out the window. The records.
Cost me $4.72 for the push.
But Aaron Rodgers will officially come back now.
Man.
Aaron Rodgers is officially going to come back, and they're going to win the division.
I like it.
Your prediction is that he's going to heal up, come back, and they're going to win the division.
Yeah, he's going to be the Lazarus man.
Hey, man, they're one of the only teams that have been in every single game this year, -1. They look bad against the Cowboys, but other than that, they've been in every single freaking game, and they beat
the Eagles and the Bills.
Yeah.
So here they come.
And it was still the worst game ever yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a W.
It's a
and all the injuries had nothing to do with the weather of the turf.
Yeah, nothing to do with the field or the weather. Sure.
I mean,
sure,
yeah. I mean, you have that turf that just rips people's ankles and knees apart as it is. Then it just is pouring rain.
Yeah.
And what you have 3 more guys go down with ankles or knees yesterday?
If that was a perfect example as to what the players are talking about,
I miss the old turf. I miss the old turf at the Meadowlands where a guy would get tackled and then slide on the slip and slide for 30 minutes.
And he would get up and have no skin on him.
Road rash, just
absolutely.
Just absolute road rash. Well, look, I'm sure Rocco's happy about Wade's prediction.
Oh yeah,
Aaron Rodgers coming back and winning the division. And Rocco, while we're at it, I think it's time for our ombudsman, Rocco Constantino.
All right, got a few things here on the pad. Just mentioned the John Smoltz, Jack Morris game. So there was 12 years age difference between John Smoltz and Jack Morris, 14 years age difference between Scherzer and Fought. So it's a good comparison right there, rookie against a veteran, and let's see what comes up here. Tom Hellman showing up in here. Great insight with him there, but his most famous probably involvement was being the accomplice to help Tom Browning sneak out of Wrigley Field and go up onto the rooftops in uniform in mid game. There's that great thing of him waving his cap on the broadcast, and Hellman was the guy who snuck him out and got him up there in disguise. So that's awesome. Hondo Howard. 6'7", 255. Aaron Judge, 6'7", 280. Good comparison there, same height. And the Frank Howard seats in RFK, there's actually 7 of them. So that dude's hitting 7 home runs where people are like saying we got to go paint those seats so people believe somebody hit a ball actually that far. Going back to the beginning of the show, Brandon Pfaadt fought his first 37 innings. He gave up 13 home runs. So he was giving up a home run every 3 innings or so. Had an 8.81 ERA, really struggling, and then he kind of turned it around. Padromo did lead the league in sacrifice bunts, 14 sacks this year. He led it last year, too, with 12. In his four years in the minor leagues, he only had 6 sacrifice bunts the whole time. So this is something that he's done in his 2 years in the majors. Pretty interesting.
Kids, you too can learn a skill.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And his total this year, 14, was more than twice the amount of anybody else in Major League Baseball except for 4 guys. So he's
Did
laughing.
he have more sack bunts than another team?
That's a good one. I got to look that up. I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he did.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's the Babe Ruth of sack bunts.
Right. And Glendon Rush pinch hit. Speaking of bunting here, so Glendon, you had 3 pinch hits in that season, 2002, all for the same guy. You remember the guy who it was?
No.
Ben Sheets.
No, good guess there. Luis Vizcaíno.
Oh, yeah.
3 times they sent you up to pinch hit for him in a sack situation. And the 2 times you did get it down, though, but against Al Fonseca, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was nasty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's all I got for you.
Got about an hour till game time, so let's get ready. Looking forward to another good game. Thank you once again for being part of this lovely show. I want to say thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Glendon. Thank you, Rocco, Bill, and Will. And I'm Chris Vitale, and we're going to catch you next time here on Southpaw. And hopefully it won't be the Valium episode. And but thank you. We'll catch you next time.